Welcome to the Tau Beta Pi Interactive Chapter Exchange for the Unvention 2020. We are the Research Triangle Alumni Chapter located in Raleigh, Durham, and Chapel Hill, North Carolina. We present our mission statement formed at the beginning of 2020. It states, to become a premier alumni chapter within Tau Beta Pi by providing a positive, meaningful environment for alumni and the board with programming activities which provide networking, camaraderie, mentorship, and continuing education opportunities. The formation of our board occurred over a few months. Once nationals identified a president and a secretary, preliminary events were held to raise chapter awareness and gather interest for further board members. Emails were sent to chapter members utilizing SurveyMonkey and MailChimp. After a first social event in December 2019, a networking social at a local brewery in Durham, 4 additional board members were identified. Our vision for our alumni board was to develop one of camaraderie, accomplishment, and one comprised of diverse backgrounds, experiences, and career paths. Current members range from industry to academia, and locations include all 3 cities in the Research Triangle. We're actively engaged board members containing members with a variety of identified specialties. Now for an introduction to our board. First, we have our president, Bob Goldman. He earned his BS in chemical engineering at RPI and earned his MBA at Harvard. His role is to lead our meetings and call for votes. Next up is our vice president, Erica Schellis. As VP, she is in charge of the creation of our events. She earned her BS in biomedical engineering at Tulane and is now a PhD student at Duke. Next up is a new position on our board. Richard Hollenbach serves as our data and analytics officer. He uses surveys and attendance lists to make decisions about our events, and more on that later in this presentation. He earned his BS in mechanical engineering at Pitt, former president of PA Lambda, and is also a PhD student at Duke. Alexandra Williams is our director and secretary, setting our virtual meetings and recording our meeting minutes. She earned her BS in electrical engineering at East Carolina University. Emily Mengel is in charge of our communications, be it emails, social media, and more. She earned her BS in bioengineering at Mississippi State and her MS at UNC Chapel Hill. Finally, we have Youngchin Liu, our treasurer. He earned his BS in chemical engineering at Purdue and is a PhD student at NC State. Since our new executive board was established last winter, we have worked together to host a variety of social and community enrichment events. In December 2019, we hosted a casual social at Highwire Brewing, which was well attended. In January of this year, we organized an alumni panel for the Tau Beta Pi Collegiate Chapter at NC State University. Followed that with an alumni panel at Duke University's Tau Beta Pi chapter in February. Unfortunately, our Pi Day social event scheduled for mid-March was canceled because of COVID-19. We quickly revised our methods for events and hosted a virtual happy hour on Zoom in May and featured one of our own alumni in a Zoom seminar in July. We are continuing virtual community engagement with a virtual resume review for Duke, ECU, and NC State chapters, which launched in September. The organizational methods behind our alumni panels have been a true collaboration with our board and respective Tau Beta Pi executive boards at each collegiate chapter. We initiated contact with the collegiate chapters to gauge interest and then pick a date and time for the event. The student chapters did the heavy lifting in booking rooms on campus and setting our alumni up with detailed parking information and even guides at major intersections on campus to help with directions. We solicited alumni via email, Facebook, and a Google survey link. We had 13 alumni sign up to serve on the panel at NC State and 11 alumni to sign up for the Duke panel. Each panel lasted 1 hour and allowed time for casual networking afterwards. We would like to recognize and commend the organizational and leadership efforts of the collegiate chapters on this joint event. Data from our alumni members also indicated interest in seminar series featuring local alumni and their expertise. We used a Google survey to ask for volunteers, and our esteemed alumni, Dennis Curtin, was our first speaker. After setting a date and time for the seminar, we advertised it via email and Facebook. The seminar lasted 1 hour and was followed by an interesting discussion. We hope to continue the seminar series in the future. Our future events will continue community engagement efforts. We are currently organizing a virtual resume review where we match undergraduate Tau Beta Pi members at Duke, ECU, and NC State with alumni to receive feedback on their resume. We also plan to host alumni panels again virtually and more virtual happy hours. Tricia from Tau Beta Pi headquarters periodically leads a meeting with all alumni chapters where we share ideas about events such as these. In terms of our operations, we had 5 virtual meetings this year. Due to all of our geographic locations, virtual was already easier than physical meeting pre-COVID. We had used Skype, Zoom, and Google Hangouts for most of our meetings. The frequency was monthly, but as our events are a little more spread out than usual right now, our meetings are quarterly. One of our early meetings including updating our bylaws for our chapter. One of these bylaws was the definition of an active member in our chapter. We set 2 ways for a chapter member to become active: serving on the board or attending one meeting or event in the current or prior year. One of our recent meetings included a conversation about enacting our nominating committee for future board members. These changes will also be the topic of our next meeting. For our communication with our members, we use a variety of platforms to distribute our information. Our members first collaborate on event planning and marketing material. Then our communications director posts our events and announcements on our LinkedIn and Facebook pages. We also have a website and use MailChimp to send emails. Our membership list grew from 150 members to over 1,000. A new role we've tried out is our data and analytics officer. It is a new position focused on collecting membership information through surveys and events. Some results that we have seen include: the upper graph shows the breakdown of our membership by engineering discipline, and the second graph tracks our active membership. We consider an active member as one who attended one event the past year. While no event drew more than 10 individual members, we've had over 30 active members since each event brings different members. We hope to use data analytics to improve the planning of our events as well as optimizing our membership activity. I'd like to acknowledge Tricia for helping us rebuild our chapter here in North Carolina. I would also like to acknowledge my fellow board members for helping build this presentation. I'd like to thank our members for attending our events and our local collegiate chapters at Duke, NC State, and East Carolina for collaborating on events. Thank you for attending our presentation today.